Hey, g'day guys. Okay, I'm just going to start talking quick because I had to speed this up. I am using my watercolor brush ink markers. These are the ones I bought from Aldi a while ago and I told you guys about them. I decided to pull them out because I wanted to do a page using cheaper supplies. I just wanted to play. This is literally me just playing. I wanted to see how salt water reacted with these inks, and it does the same wicking technique that it does with whatever else I used it with the other week. The salt water has the same reaction, which is really cool. So you don't have to buy expensive supplies to try the salt water technique, which is fantastic. Now, I wanted to do a starburst of some description, but I don't have a giant 12 by 12 starburst. This is how you can do it without having a Cricut or anything else. I wanted to do a couple of videos this week that were just back to basics. I've had a few people comment and say that they really enjoy just seeing some simple stuff. So today I decided that's what I was going to do. We had a crazy busy weekend, so this is me. I'm just doing it the easy way. So I am just playing. Now I created a heart. To be honest with you, you don't see it really in the end anyway, but in case you could see it, I wanted to put it there. So I just offset the heart and then I just ruled some lines. I did draw a dot in the center of the heart, and I kept my ruler lined up with that so that I didn't end up with some odd. It just helps your lines line up sort of in a ray, I guess, is more of my point, I suppose. Doesn't matter if they don't, but anyway, so then I just went around and I took out every second strip, and there is your starburst. Now, this cardstock costs me like 15 cents. So it's just I'm doing it on Vicky Bouton Foundation's cardstock. So that is designed for mixed media and can take a heck of a lot of water, etc, etc. So I'm just using my spray adhesive on this stencil. I've actually never put it on this stencil before, so I had to start from scratch. So because on this particular, you'll see me here in a second, I actually grabbed some mint tape and taped this down because I don't want it to move. I wanted to, in the rays, I wanted to put down some modeling paste. I'm using the MONT one because that's all I have at the moment. So I'm actually out of all my modeling paste. So I have to sort that out. But anyway, we live and we learn. So I am using this. I'm going around. I'm adding texture to every other ray. It is sticky, so it's helping me hold it in place, but I'm trying to sort of get some of that modeling paste that's on every other one. I'm trying to like lift it up a little bit, not to just waste it all. So then I dried it off, and I have sped this up because it's just fun I think it's fun to watch mixed media coming together in fast forward. Like, it looks really fun. And this is something that I want you guys to know. I love mixed media. I love everything about it. I love the textures, the colors, the different idea. Now I know what that looks like. Okay, I know it does look dodgy, but I quickly got orange on there as well. See how by spraying it with the salt water, see how it's wicking out into like some really cool sort of lines. So that's where I was heading with it. Now, I was thinking of doing a rainbow. Now, at this point, I sort of tried to get some of that red back up because it's not, the red in this set, it's not, kind of looks under these lights like blood red, but it's not. It's more of a, like a cherry red. So as you can see, the way it's wicking out with the salt water, I just think it looks really cool. Now, I do make a mistake. Oh, hang on. I've got to make some more salt water. So all I do is just put some salt, some rock salt. I could have used a bigger spoon, but I didn't want to spill it everywhere. So that, and then just add some water to it, swirl it around, dissolve the salt, and Bob's your uncle. What I have learnt doing this, the higher salt content you have in your water, the better it wicks out and goes crazy. It's like the salt. This is where I stuffed up. Okay, you want to see Karen's muff up? This is what happens when you're playing and you're just having fun and you put green down next to orange. For anyone that knows anything about any sort of colour theory, when you mix orange and green, you end up with mud. So, whoops. So I did that. So then I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to sacrifice my wicking, which was really cool. It's going over the top of the texture paste anyway. So then I thought, if I use some paper towel and absorb some of the water and some of the ink back up, maybe I can save this. Just between you, me, and the bedpost, I didn't save a lot. I ended up, by the end of it, stick around, because trust me, this only goes for 20 minutes and it does go through some ups and downs, but I'm pointing out, don't do that. If you're going to do something along these lines, don't, and look at me, I'm putting blue on top of orange. It's Monday morning, okay? I was doing this Monday morning. We'd had a big weekend. I absolutely love how the colours wick out with I'm going to do something like this again, and I'm going to use colours on the colour wheel that are opposite each other, not colours that are next to each other, because that's where you come unstuck. Now, I wanted this to be all rainbowy. Now, stick with me. Still at this point, I'm trying to do something that hopefully saves it. I'm showing you all of this because that hopefully you guys can learn from my mistake where I went horribly, horribly wrong. I thought if I added lots of yellow onto it, it would dilute some of the green, lightening it up a little bit. The yellow mixing with red is not really a problem, nor is yellow mixing with blue. That both not an issue. Then I reached the point where I went, you know what? The only thing that's going to save this is black. I know, right? Black. So I went with a nice rainbow and then I came in with black. Don't quit out now. Trust me. Don't stop now. Just trust the process. This totally comes together at the end. But what a hot mess is that? Like, you leave me a comment below. Do you like seeing things? Does this give you like anxiety watching this just go to hell in a handbasket? Or do you like watching me bring something back from the brink? Like, I'm doing CPR on this thing like you've never seen, because it's bad. It was really bad. Stick with me. It starts to improve. So what I have here is some 1/8 double-sided tape. It is not anything special. It's the stuff I buy from Spotlight. It sticks down. I don't really have a problem with it. I am going along the edges of where I put the textured paste, right? So the texture paste is in between each ray. So I'm going around all the way around, and already just with the white tape there, I'm going, should I stop? But this is where I say to you guys, this is what I say, especially if you're just playing. If you're playing and you're at home and you're not videoing for thousands of people to watch, it's probably a lot less nerve-wracking. However, trust the process. Just take 2 more steps. I could have thrown this in the bin, or I could have taken 2 more steps. 1, I put the black on there. I still wasn't confident, but then I thought, no, take that extra step. Take your own advice. So I did. So I pulled out my Poppy Crafts transfer foil in the gold. Now this stuff, it's awesome. Double-sided tape, put it down and bang, it sticks your gold down. I've got it in gold, I've got it in silver. It is brilliant and it's dirt cheap. If you're an Aussie, you can get it from, I picked up mine from Crafts Online, I think it was. They had it on sale one week. I think it was like dirt cheap. I know it wasn't very expensive because I usually use the other kind of foil that gets really super messy, but I wanted to give this a try. Now look what this is doing. It is transforming it, and I still have the defibrillator on the side. It's still there. I'm just down to, you know, basic CPR now. I'm just monitoring and watching how things are going, okay? I'm telling you, I had fun though, because sometimes when you create constantly, I don't fall in a funk. I have got so many ideas going through my head. At the moment, I really want to do a rainbow layout, and I've committed and I've purchased the VersaFine Claire inks, and I've got a good rainbow going on, except for today. While I was doing this, I was so excited. The postie arrived, and if you're a part of the Facebook group, you may have already seen my post, but postie arrived, which was my last 5 inks. I had to order them from 2 different places because they were out of stock. So I did that, and boom, bada bing, I open them up. I'm super excited. Yeehaw, I can finally do my big stamping rainbow thing that I want to do. And Golden Meadow, whilst it looks yellow on the top of the VersaFine, because I had nothing to go by. I don't know people that have got these inks. So unfortunately, I went with it and I ordered it thinking it was yellow, thinking it would be kind of like a mustard seed yellow, something like that. No, it's not. It's green. It's green. It looks yellow on the top of the lid, but it is not. It is throwing green, and I even used it on several different substrates and it still looks green. So I then very promptly jumped back online and paid way too much for one ink, but I did it anyway because I've got this in my head and it's like writer's block. If I can't get the idea out of my head because I've done it, then it sort of blocks the rest of the flow. I know that sounds so stupid, but I have people saying that they'd love to be in my brain for 5 minutes, and trust me, it's not always fun and games. So I decided with this one, this is where I was going to go. Now, still at this point, I'm still not loving it, okay? This is my cut file that I purchased from Pear Tree Cut Files. It's called And Relax. I will link it below for you. And this is where things started to go, okay, let's see if it's because we need to add some kind of metallic shine, a little bit different, you know, something to try and bring that texture forward. Well, it's at this point that I was questioning so much more than the colors that were already there, and that's when it hit me. This is where I got it. This is where my brain just went, I figured it out. I know how I'm going to save this, and I don't know why I just did that. I don't know what I was thinking there, but it's okay. I'm about to become Houdini, and I'm about to fix it. So I cut it out. So I used the template. I cut out another template and I did it in black. This is the color Bock Black. I'm going to tell you now, it's not a good black. It's not a true black to me. It is a grey. I don't like it. I've bought 2 pads of it, and it's a little frustrating, I have to say. It's not a true black. But it's okay. I save it. Now, once I cover up the every other ray, it starts to come together. It starts to look a little bit more like it was meant to be done that way. You can still see the gold there. Now it's starting to come together. Like I said, the heart, yeah, you can't see it. It's not the end of the world. It's totally fine. This is where I just commit and put the photos down. The photos are of Jennifer. Couldn't find her. She was mucking around. She had her sister's iPod and she was in the washing basket, laying down, watching something on, I can't even tell you what it was anymore, but she was watching something on the iPod and she was kicking back in the laundry basket. It was only towels and stuff in there, like it wasn't the end of the world, but it's like, You just kick back, kid. You got this. You know what you're doing. And once I knew where she was, she stayed there for ages. She was comfortable. She knew what she was doing. So because I had used the blue Lunar paste to try and salvage the situation, and to be honest, I actually really like how it looks on it, going over the top of the other textured paste. Just with the brayer, it just touched the top of it and it added just enough shimmer. And I like that. I was going with the blue and yellow here, and it was at this point I went, nah, I think we need green. So I went with No Diving, which is the blue, and Tropical Tango, which is the green colour. And I'm putting it on thick. This is on the other day when I cut up some of my old cricket mats, and I put some press and seal upside down on them. That's what I'm using, and it made it super duper simple to clean. I show you right at the end once I pull these off and I trim them up and all the rest of it. But this is how easy it is to clean, gone, and then I just put another piece down. Now if I'm just doing Distress Oxide on there, I just wash it with a cloth, but the Lunar paste is chunky, so it didn't work. But I've just replaced the bit of plastic on it and with the press and seal, and it's good to go again. So I am loving that idea, and it's a little bit thrifty, so it works for me. Now I'm just going around with my scissors, just tidying up the edges where the Lunar paste is over the edge, just to neaten it up a little bit, because you know the rest of the page is all so neat and tidy. Well, it kind of is now, but you know the horrors that's underneath that black bit. So something I wanted to point out to everybody, I hope you're still with me. I hope you're sticking around to see how this turns out in the end, because it's nearly done. And I just want to let everybody know that I have had an amazing couple of weeks with my kids, my family, gymnastics, AFL. Like, it has just been crazy around here. Jen had her last gymnastics sanctioned competition on the weekend. She unfortunately did not reach the score she had to get to states, but there's always next year, and she's okay about it. I truly thought we were going to have a bubbling, like just a nightmare, a mess last night, but she was okay. She was okay. You know, her coach is amazing. Her coach is a former gymnast herself, and she totally just put Jen in the right mindset, and she just said to her, you're not competing against anybody else out there. You're competing against yourself. And she managed to get over 8 3 times on 3 different apparatus, which for Jen, consistency wise, is amazing. I absolutely loved how she held herself so well. It was great. The whole team did, actually. They did really, really well. There was no one dropped the ball. It was really good. So that's gymnastics comps dealt with. So now all we have is AFL, and it's kind of good because now we can just focus on one sport instead of 2, which is great. Now I'm just going through with some NUVO crystal drops. These are the ebony black ones, just to add some texture onto the black, because it's not jet black. So it just was bothering me. So this is it. This is how it's come together. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think... Look, let me know what you think, because in all honesty, I was really torn. I was going to just throw it out and ditch the whole video, but then I thought, you know what, you guys, I tell you that I bring you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and there it is. That was the good, the bad, the ugly. Let me know what you think. I think I salvaged it in the end. It did take a few twists and turns. I love all the texture you can see, and the texture paste, and the Lunar paste, and it's just, I love it. It turned out really good. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking around, guys. I will be back with another video tomorrow. And yeah, if you can show your appreciation by a thumbs up, a comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will be back tomorrow. Thanks so much, guys. Chat to you then. Bye for now.